Hey guys, Fusebox here, and I think I've got a handle on the Eternal Dragon in the Doom Tower. We'll call this an early guide because I do have to push into hard mode. I wanna see him when it gets more difficult. But reading his kit, I mean, I have a team that can beat him in 11 moves right now. So if we bring in some weaker heroes, I think what's going on here, let's just go with a small team like this so that he will actually take some moves. So here's what, let's go through the waves and we'll talk about him. He has abilities that can lock out your cooldowns, which is yucky, right? He can gain turn meter for whatever cooldowns are left, but let's look at his kit. His A1 is it attacks all enemies, puts block cooldown skills for one turn. You know, you can handle his A1. Now his A2 attacks all enemies, inflicts bonus damage, 20% bonus damage for every turn remaining on enemy skills. So like if you bring in somebody with just, you know, a 6-turn cooldown, this could end up really killing you, if not one-shotting you. Let's keep that in mind and keep going. Attacks all enemies, puts all enemies' skills on cooldown. Now this will protect you if that lands from taking this massive damage, but there's going to be ways to deal with this. Alright, so his turn meter increases for 5% for every turn remaining on enemy skills cooldowns. It sounds all so complicated, but we're going to come back to that. Now here's where the mechanics of his minions, his adds, really comes into play. Alright, he summons 3 minions, an Eternal Priest and 2 Eternal Guards. And basically, there's almost no winning here other than killing them all. So he can only have 3 up at a time. He places Eternal Rage, which basically increases his speed and causes him to ignore block, damage, shields, unkillable. So you don't want Eternal Rage up. He'll place that if, for 2 turns, if only 1 minion is summoned or no minions are summoned by this skill. The only time only 1 minion will be summoned is if you only kill 1 minion. The only time no minions will be summoned is if you do not kill any minions. So your only option is to kill at least 2 minions. Let's keep going though. At the start of his turn, he'll sacrifice the Eternal Priest and reset all of his big skills. So you don't want the Eternal Priest to live. Got that. If there are no Eternal Priests on the team, he'll sacrifice one of the guards and heal himself by 15%. Don't want that. So we want the guards dead. We want the Eternal Priest dead. Not bad, right? This skill will be on a 4-turn cooldown at the start of the battle and will activate and go on every 5 turns, even if there are no enemies on the team. Okay, so we want to be killing, and basically he's immune to almost everything, right? Almost everything. Block cooldown skills, stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, true fear, decrease speed, poison, heal reduction. Then damage from skills that scale based on max HP are still nerfed to 10%, so you're not going to be able to just nuke him down. Now if you're really fast, 10 of those will kill him, but that's probably not the way you're going to want to go. So you can come in here with debuffs, you can come in here with buffs, you can come in here with whatever you want, but you're going to want people who, if your skills get locked down, you still have to be able to kill in 1 turn most or all of the minions. You're going to want a lot of AoEs, right? We're coming in with a fairly weak team. I've got my War Maiden, I've got Kel, I've got a Bellower for his AoEs, and the same reason I brought Sylar. So we can put this on auto and just kind of watch this go. Well, let's just do it on our own. Let's take his defense down. Obviously this is a weak enemy, but we'll decrease his accuracy. Now one thing you can do is decrease his accuracy, and you can raise your resist. So if you put like Rector Drath in the lead, gaining 55 in Doom Tower resist, plus when she puts you under a veil, you actually get another 50 resist. You'll be able to resist his A3, his A2, the blocking of your cooldowns. So we're going to look at that shortly. But just a weak sauce team, Basically what you want to do is just go through doing whatever until he does this. All right, the first thing he's gonna do, he put some of our skills on cooldown. Not a big deal. This is why you want a lot of AoEs. We know we want to kill the priest. We know we want to kill, and AoE is gonna help out a lot here. We've killed the priest. We want to make sure these guards go down. We could probably put this on auto from here. Just a little 4-man rare team here. Well, we have an epic, but doesn't much matter. And this is an easy version of the boss. I understand, but it's really not all that bad. If you're killing all the ads, obviously you could bring in somebody just for some support. If you're killing the ads, you could bring that shield, you could bring that unkillable, and it will work as long as you do not let him put on, I believe it's Eternal Wrath. So you definitely can go in there and protect yourself as well, but killing those ads is key. Let me hop on another account and let's look at a different approach real quick. Okay, so we're gonna go a different route. We're gonna take the amazing HP aura, resist aura for 55 extra resist in the Doom Tower by putting Rector Drath in the lead. She's not gonna bring much else. Decrease attack, that's not bad if it lands, but she does heal, she can revive, she puts people under a veil. None of that is a negative, so we're gonna take her. We're gonna take the sisters here, Skull Crown and Sinesha, because everything they do is an AoE or a heal on Sinesha, in Sinesha's case. But AoEs on the A1, in case all of our cooldowns do get locked out, we're okay. We're going to be able to kill all of those incoming enemies. Now, remember this guy, oh, come on. You don't remember him? We got rid of him. Elegaeus. Elegaeus can actually increase the cooldown. You can't block the cooldown skills of this dragon, but you can increase the cooldown, or at least the way I read it, you can. So we'll take this, we'll just go through the waves real quick and see how this works out. In theory, we'll be able to block some or most of the increasing R cooldowns, or blocking R cooldowns, just by having higher resist than normal. Now this is still early and in normal, so it's still going to be an easy boss. Alright, but the idea here, we've got her, we'll go for decreased attack, didn't get it. Basically, what we're not worried about is if we do get locked down to our A1s, we still can AoE the enemies. Now we do want to kind of put the target skills on cooldown. This has a chance to decreasing all enemies' turn meters, and this is block cooldown skills. So this right here is gonna actually put them on cooldown. Right now, we're just gonna hit auto. He's gonna pull up these enemies, and no matter what, we're gonna get these AoEs out. Also, are we gonna get it out soon enough? So yeah, okay, we're good. So look at all the resists we're getting. Super important, and we easily could have brought somebody else to make sure this goes through. I'm trying to bring a weak team, a weak-ish team. I'm not built very strong with my Sinesha and Skull Crown pair. They're strong, but they're not in-game strong. I just really haven't gone through doing it. Look at all the resists. Basically, as you increase on these battles, and they do get difficult, you don't have to take this team on the first one. You can just smash right through them, no problem. But as these things, as it gets more difficult, more resist and more speed is going to be key. And really the same goes for the Griffin. Let's go talk about him. Let's talk about him. This Celestial Gryphon. Of course, you can just smash through him, but one of the things that you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to block. You're really gonna want to. Okay, you're gonna want to bring debuffs. It's kind of a race to the finish. If you let this guy go too many turns, he's gonna just get to the point he's going to kill you. He keeps buffing himself with whatever that amazing buff he has is. So you do not want to come in with a weak team, and you do want to be debuffing this guy. You want to be throwing down decreased defense, weaken, whatever you got, but you don't want him to put those debuffs onto you. So if you come in with very few, you could bring. Let's go. Let me put a team together and explain what I'm thinking. Okay. So what I'm thinking is you come in, you try to control how many buffs you put on yourself. In fact, I'm going to take, instead of buffing up, I'm going to take a couple of these out. Let's bring like, we're going to want a healer, but we're not going to want too many buffs. Not that lasts long. So maybe Doom Priest is better. That speed buff's going to be up a lot with Apothecary, but I'm sure that he would work fine too. We'll just take the extra health here, and then we just want DPS that brings basically nothing else. So we'll take the crit rate. Okay, so we have DPS. We want to kill the guy. We've got DPS here. We do have defense down. If we wanted to bring, I mean, if I take any really strong heroes, he'll die really quickly, and that's not what I want to do here. So I guess, I mean, we could just bring in. We'll just bring in somebody. I don't even know if he's geared. We'll bring in somebody like him. So we're back to the HP aura. But one key element is going to be, you're going to probably have to manual this when it gets difficult. You're going to probably have to manual it because you're going to have to put block debuffs. That's why Grizzled Jarl's in here. There are plenty of people who can block debuffs. You're going to want to block debuffs right before he takes that move that puts your debuffs on to hit, that the debuffs that you placed on him, he puts them on you. You're going to want to put block debuffs so that they don't hit you, essentially protecting you. Now if you're having trouble doing that, bring Sandlash Survivor in here and increase that block debuffs even better, honestly. We got Sepulchre Sentinel is great. Matter of fact, she could give you an amazing aura and block debuffs, and you could pair her up with Sandlash Survivor, who I don't think I have on this account. I do have them both on the other one. Let me just real quick see if she's even halfway built out. Apparently not. Alright, let's get in here. Okay, just a quick note, I'm going to go ahead and kind of A1 and save all my cooldowns so that I'm ready to start exactly the way I want when I get to the boss, and then I'll cut back in just so I can, again, I don't think this is going to be that bad of a fight. I think it's going to be a long fight that you manual until some of the big brains come up with a way to auto it. Again, this is easy on this stage, but it's not going to stay that way. So I'll come back at the boss and we'll talk through it. Okay, so basically bring yourself one healer. We know that he is going to remove buffs from us. Unfortunately, I did bring somebody in a shield set. I bet you it's Coffin Smasher. But we're going to go ahead and start laying our debuffs now, hoping to. We didn't get that one. We'll go ahead and land this one. Didn't get that one. My goodness. Just to put some, we're going to throw some poisons down. Alright. Now next, we know that he's going to come at us with... he's going to come at us. We can go ahead and buff ourselves now without much worry. So let's go ahead and start buffing now. Not worried about debuffing him, so maybe we'll get an HP burnout. There we go. And here's where we know what's coming. We want to block debuffs. Increasing defense helps too. So we can still buff ourselves up. And at this point, what we want to watch out for, so there, he couldn't put any of his buffs on us, perfectly safe. If this was a harder, more difficult stage, we'd be in for it, right? So right now, a chance to put fear, we're not worried about that. 2 more cooldowns before he tries to remove our buffs. It looks like we don't want to be placing many more buffs, so we're going to stop placing buffs and start putting debuffs back up when we get the chance, and rinse and repeat. And basically this guy, as long as you manual this and think it through carefully, he's not going to be that bad. He might take you some time. He might take a while to beat. With that in mind, remember, Doom Tower is not meant for early and mid-game players to actually beat all the way through hard mode. But I do want you to get the most loot that you can get with the most ease. So we're going to kill him, but we have all our debuffs up. So when he tries to take our buffs after one more turn, we were going to finally be out of buffs. He wouldn't take them. Then we would put block debuffs up once again to make sure he couldn't put our debuffs onto us. And we would just carefully ride that roller coaster, right? Just kind of sail right through it. The only catch is the higher up you go, the faster your team will need to be. Go to Hell Hades does have a data sheet, I believe. Go to hellhades.com and see the speed on the one that you're going up against. See his speed, his resistance, all the important stats, and know that you're going to have enough accuracy to beat his resist, enough speed to beat his speed, and by the end of Doom Tower, we're talking like 250 speed. So, just to let you know, don't get frustrated. You're not meant to be able to beat this unless you're in game and working towards beating it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. Gear intensive. You're going to have to re-gear heroes, which is why the silver issue is such a problem, because so many of you, much like me, have probably what it would take to beat it all the way through, but you're going to have to spend a ton of silver just to re-gear, change up some masteries. And by the way, on Doom Tower bosses are becoming the thing. There's going to be a lot of heroes where I really think you're going to probably want to consider taking Helm Smasher off if they're a good Doom Tower hero and putting War Master on. Just kill these bosses that much faster. I mean, it's a huge increase to your DPS. Just something you might want to think about. You might have to bring mastery and re-gear some heroes. We're used to looking at 220 accuracy. You start getting into hard mode on Doom Tower, you're looking at pushing 330 to 400 accuracy. You're looking at 240, 250 speed. We're used to 170 to 190. It's a lot harder to gear for. It's more about the gear, but the correct heroes are going to matter. Somebody that can block debuffs. You're not going to need huge amount of heals and support here. You're going to need somebody that can actually heal you. Leech might help. There's a lot of even rares that can put Leech up. That would help you stay alive. The issue is you want to kill him before 10 or 11 rounds, because after that, he's going to start putting the smack down on you. Like, this boss is going to become difficult. So that's my early guide on these two. We're going to leave it at that. I guarantee you we're all going to come up with a great way to beat these. You guys are great about leaving me comments when you know something ahead of time. I appreciate it. Hopefully everybody reads through the comments, because we've had people suggest amazing things, like how to speed roll while you're on the Play and Play app. Thank you. I believe it was Lupo. But anyways, things like that. It helps everybody in the community. That's why I made this channel. I started out trying to help my clan mates. There's too much. These videos, they're long for a reason. There's so much to say. You can't type it out in the chat in the game. You know what I mean? You can only do so much. You really got to make videos, and I've got a good grasp on the game. I'm not claiming to be any amazing best player in the game, but I'm good. I have a good grasp on the game, and I feed off everybody else. I look at all the other content creators. I support them. By the way, please help support me and them. We're all trying to help the community out. I would love to actually get to the point where I could get in with Plarium and actually be an advocate for you guys. Try to throw my little questions in there, maybe throw my suggestions in. Will they listen? I don't know, but I can be persuasive. Maybe we'll get something done. But anyways, thanks for the support. Please keep it coming. Don't fret on these Doom Tower bosses. I like the way they tiered them up. They start very easy, but they're gonna get very hard pretty quickly. So let's get through normal first. Let's feel these bosses out. Then we'll get into hard mode. If you're already in hard mode, then listen, these are my ideas. I'm sure if you're there, you've got great ideas too. Feed them back to me. Guys, that's it. I don't think there's anything to worry about. We're going to figure them out. We're going to get through them. I don't think they're as scary as they seem. They're just new. We're going to beat these bosses. Until next time, enjoy the grind.